What's going on, guys? Today in this video I'm going to be going over my most frequently asked question. Why do you prefer the Gh5 over the Sony A7S II? Now, before I even get into this video, I want to let you all know that this is not a video to discredit the A7S II in any shape, form, or fashion. A7S II is a really good camera and it's going to fit a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. But this video is just simply me going over the reasons why I prefer the Lumix Gh5 over the A7S II. The first reason being price. It's no secret that the Lumix Gh5 costs almost $1,000 less than the Sony A7S II. Now, I know that there are going to be a lot of people who say after you purchase a Metabone speed booster and another lens, it's going to cost potentially even more than the A7S II, and I know, but if you were to just get the Lumix Gh5 and the native 12 to 35mm lens, you'll be good. Like, I think that that's the one lens that you need on the Lumix Gh5 if you're going native. You can literally shoot everything with that lens. It has a good aperture range. It has a good zoom range, and it just works. So pricing is obviously going to be one of the reasons why I prefer the Gh5. It's cheaper. The second reason that I prefer the Gh5 over the A7S II is the image stabilization. Now, me personally, this is going to be my own personal opinion. I feel like the image stabilization on the Sony A7S II is lackluster compared to the Lumix Gh5. I personally think that the Lumix Gh5 has the best image stabilization out of pretty much all the cameras in the same price range. This is me including the A7S II. This is me including the A6500. Pretty much any camera in this price range, the Lumix Gh5 has the best image stabilization. Now, the third reason that I prefer the Gh5 over the A7S II is the 4K 60s. Now, it's no secret that the A7S II does not have 4K 60s. The Gh5 has it. It's a cheaper body. It's just a no-brainer. The 4K 60s are a big add-on feature for me personally, and it's one of the significant reasons why I prefer the Gh5 over the A7S II. Fourth reason being, and probably the most significant reason out of them all, I just love variable frame rates. The ability to be able to go in between frame rates, 24 frames per second, 36 frames per second, 48, 72, 96, etc. Variable frame rates are a big thing for me. I like to change up the frame rates. It gives a different look. It gives a different perspective. And the A7S II does not have that. The A7S II only offers 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second. So this is one of the main reasons why I personally prefer the Gh5 and even Lumix over Sony in most instances. Variable frame rates are just a thing that I love. I love 72 frames per second. I love the look of 96 frames per second, as well as 36 frames per second when you want to do those cool little music video effects where you have the person in slow motion and you want the music to be on sync with the person's lips. The fifth reason that I prefer the Gh5 over the Sony A7S II is the really cool feature for you to be able to input LUTs into your camera and view how they look while you're shooting the footage. Now, this is massive when you have a video and you know specifically how you want that video to look color-wise. You can just input that LUT into your camera, and while you're filming, you can make sure your exposure and everything is right in terms of tone, so when you go back to post, the video is going to be perfect. So being able to import a LUT, see the footage, see the colors as you're filming it, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I feel like that's one of the most overlooked features in the Gh5. Those are just a real quick 5 reasons why I prefer the Gh5. It's a few more, but those are just the quick ones. The Gh5 has 180 frames per second. The Gh5 has higher bit rates than 24 frames per second and variable frame rates, and a bunch of other features that really add on to the aspect of me preferring the Gh5 over the Sony A7S II. I'm not personally a person who really cares about the low light capabilities or the full frame look if I'm in video mode. Like I said, the A7S II is going to fit a lot more people other than me. These are just the reasons why I prefer the Gh5 over it. So if you enjoyed this video and it gave you a different insight on why people prefer the Gh5 over the A7S II and vice versa, go ahead and drop me a like. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Peace out, guys.